After a while, card dials is super crazy Fawful, and welcome to um a new video. Um, I'm gonna be doing something that I was planning on doing yesterday, but I didn't get the time. Anyway, I am. As you guys know, there's the new Godzilla film, Shin Gojira, which I really enjoyed, and all that. My dad thought it was weird, and James Gaming and Worm Girl thought it was pretty good. So yeah, and I'm doing, and as you guys know, just let you know this is unscripted, so I'm gonna mumble every once in a while. Um, I At the end of the film there was kind of a cliffhanger where you see his tail and it kind of looks a little weird, like leading into his second form. So yeah, and this is gonna be me doing my own idea of how I would like to do my own Shin Gojira 2 sequel. This might end up being split up into two parts because I talk a lot. So anyway, let's get started. Anyway, um, for me, I would have to say that pretty much how it begins, I would say, is it begins with like a review, like what happened in the first film, like show a little overview of what happened, like see a few scenes of the humans talking, and then show a few scenes of Form 1 and Form 2, and then a few scenes of Form 3, and see them, and all that. So that would be pretty cool. Like you see the the first form just smash that building that he smashed through, like he jumped on top of and fell over. That show that in first form, and then in the second form just show him running away or something like that, and then show his third form, fourth form, doing his atomic breath and all that, or maybe just show him watching going on shore, and that would be pretty cool. And that would be, yeah. But after that, I would like to see. This is not a good picture, but here's my best picture of showing Shin Gojira frozen. It's the best picture I can find. There was no fan art, so yeah. Um, but I would really like to see good old Shin Gojira frozen again. A little recap, and then cut, and then and then make it say Shin Gojira. Well, I don't think it might. Yeah, make it say Shin Gojira, and then you do your opening credits, playing that good old Akira Ifukube music. It's a tongue twister there. So yeah, that would be pretty cool to see that. Um, yeah, how I would like to see it is, but after the credits, I would like to see that that girl from the first film that spoke that spoke American and wanted to be president of America. She What I would like to see is in the beginning we see her like walking around and all that, and minding her own business, and then she hears a roar, and then buildings are being flung, and then she sees the purple atomic breath, and then a building just collapses right in front of her, but doesn't crush her, just in front of her. And then behind the building, she just looks up and sees Godzilla, and she just falls to the ground, terrified and all that. And you know, um, and Godzilla's about to reload, and his spikes start glowing, and he's about to breathe fire. His eyes turn purple and all that. Like he's about to shoot fire out of his eyes as well. And he shoots the laser beam, but we don't see it shot because she ends up waking up, because it's one of those dream sequences, it's one of those dream cliches. So yeah, and that's how, and then we see her wake up, and then, of course, I would like to say that this film takes place at least, I would say, about 2 or 3 years after the first. I think that would do, 2 or 3 years, because they don't plan on the sequel yet. So yeah, pretty much they wake up. She goes to work and all that, does her own stuff. I'm mostly overviewing the monster stuff. I don't know about all the other characters. I don't even remember the characters' names because they're Japanese names. How am I supposed to remember them? But anyway, what I would do is then we just reintroduce all the main characters from the first that survived and all that. They're back to doing their normal stuff and all that. And I would say that the main actor, the main character in the first film, the lead guy, I would say that he's now the new prime minister. That would be pretty cool. And like one moment, him and that girl that wanted to be president, that American Japanese girl, well, let's go hang out, all that stuff. I don't know the date or something. Because to me, I think they weren't in love in the film. I don't think they were. But anyway, how I think it would go is that they're just talking, walking around, and she tells him his dream and all that. And so yeah, they're like a little far away from the statue. They're pretty far away. And at this time, they're still rebuilding Tokyo. It's not fully rebuilt yet. So they're just walking around, minding their own business, talking about Godzilla and all that. And how I would say is that they would we would just cut to, like, in the middle of the conversation, we cut to Godzilla, the Godzilla statue. And we go straight into Godzilla's tail. Because as you guys know, it's a little messed up looking. And how I would think of it as is that tip of Godzilla's tail with all those alien monsters and all that, these things. The best fan art I can find. Which in this picture they call them hybrids, so I'll just call these things hybrids. And what I would have to say is how it goes is that the tip of his tail with all these creatures in it cracks and falls onto the ground. Yeah, falls onto the ground. And probably hits a person or something. And then the ice starts cracking and all that. And then all these alien-looking Godzilla creatures, they start wreaking havoc. They break free. Because I think I counted like maybe there might have been 10 on that tip of that tail, like maybe 10. That would be a good number, like 10 or 15. And those things are, judging from his tail, those things are about 20 feet tall. These are like 20 foot tall. These are pretty much queen alien size, mostly because they kind of look like xenomorphs. So yeah, these are pretty much queen Godzilla xenomorphs, if you want to compare them to that. So how I would say is that they start wreaking havoc. They start destroying some places, start actually killing people, like targeting people and all that. And some of them are actually protecting Godzilla. They're just attacking, killing, destroying, and protecting the Godzilla statue. Because since that cracked, you definitely know Godzilla's going to crack sometime soon. So how I would like to see it is that they're just wreaking havoc, and the two main characters are being chased by one of them, and they end up escaping through a car. They take a car and all that and leave. They go back to the prime minister base or whatever the heck they were at in the original Shin Gojira and all that, and they start talking. The boring talking part. So yeah, and that's how I would think it would go. But in the meanwhile, they're just like, okay, since there's these kaiju things that just fell off his tail, that must really mean that Godzilla's gonna crack out of that icy prison and start continuing to destroy our precious Japan. And soon the Americans will try to nuke us again. Great! All a part of a complete day of breakfast, whatever that means. I'm just mumbling now. So pretty much that's how I would really like to see it. But what I would like to see is since they did a callback from they did a callback from if you guys remember Godzilla 2014, right? Where they used Dr. Serizawa's character, like a character named Dr. Serizawa, but not based off that character. I would like to Japan to return the favor and put an American character in this film named Steve Martin. Yeah, just to be even and all that. I would say that he's like with the government or something. I don't know. A reporter. I don't know. Just some way for him to actually help the Japanese come up with ideas to destroy Godzilla. He like helps them come up with ideas and all that. That's what I would like to see, like him trying to help the Japanese destroy Godzilla. So yeah, that would be pretty cool in my opinion. But meanwhile, while they're talking with Steve Martin, these things are being destroyed. And this pretty cool picture, I found it on. This was on a magazine and Google. So yeah, they're just destroying, killing not monsters, killing people and all that. So yeah, they're rampaging. It's like, what are we gonna do? So yeah, that would be pretty cuckoo crazy and all that. So they're just asking, what are we